Alright, let's get right into it. And firstly, there's absolutely no point in following any battery saving tips if your battery health is poor to begin with. So let's check that out first. And to find this, go into your app drawer and look for Samsung Members. It's pre-installed on your phone. Then go into the Support tab and click on Phone Diagnostics and go down to Battery and just check the health over there. If it says good, it's good. Now, assuming that your battery health is good, there are a couple of things that you can do to make sure that your battery lasts a little longer every day. So first, go into Device Care in your settings, go into Battery and scroll down to Charging Settings. Go into Performance Profile and make sure that you switch that to Lite. And seriously guys, if all that you're doing with your phone is calling, texting, emailing, using social media apps, then this setting will still give you pretty much the same performance but save you battery. And in case you have an older Samsung phone, then if you go into battery settings and then into more battery settings, then under processing speed, just make sure it is set to optimized. It's the same. Also, it's a great idea for you to turn on auto optimization. It just makes sure that your phone restarts itself from time to time when you're not using it to keep it running absolutely smooth. And this setting will just make sure that it's clearing your cache from time to time, it's clearing up any bottled up RAM, or even if there's any background process that's chewing up your battery, it'll take care of all of that and make sure that your phone is running smoothly. Next, and guys, I agree that always on display is an extremely useful functionality, but you'll be amazed at just how much battery it consumes over a day or two. Go into Settings, then into Lock Screen and scroll down to where it says Always on Display and make sure it's set to Tap to Show. And then only when you tap on the screen will it show the Always on Display. Next, did you know that your phone constantly keeps looking for devices around you to send files to or to connect to passively? Go ahead and turn that off. So under Settings, go into Connections, then look for More Connection Settings and in here, Nearby Device Scanning. Turn that off. I mean, think about it. How often do you really need your phone to be looking for devices to connect to, right? And this holds true even for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. I mean, if you're out and about, then you're probably not connected to a specific Wi-Fi or Bluetooth network, so just turn them off and that way your phone is not constantly looking. And speaking of Wi-Fi, there's actually something pretty cool that you can do there too. Go back into Connection Settings and into Wi-Fi and tap on these three dots on the top right and go into Intelligent Wi-Fi. Scroll down, you will see something called as Wi-Fi Power Saving Mode. Turn it on, it'll help you by a bit. Now guys, one of the rare and a very dangerous kind of battery drain is when there's an app out there that's acting abnormal and it's really sucking up your battery at a very high rate than it really should. And if someday you feel that your battery suddenly drained too fast, it's probably because of an app like that. To check this, go into Settings and into, battery settings obviously, click on Battery and you'll see battery consumption by the app here. So click on More Details. And now if you see an app here that you didn't use too much but it ate up too much battery, that is a problem app. Probably the best thing to do is go ahead and kill it or shut it off. And if that doesn't work, you might want to go ahead and clear its cache. So let's say it's Samsung Internet, right? So go into App Info, look for Storage, and you'll see an option called Clean Cache. Hit that. And if none of this solves that problem, just go ahead and uninstall and reinstall that app. The other thing you can do is put certain apps to deep sleep. These are apps that you rarely use, but they might be eating up some battery in the background. So go into Deep Sleeping App Settings, click on that plus on the top right corner, and then just select apps that you don't use too often. Because quite honestly, they might be eating up some battery in the background. So just put them to deep sleep and they'll only turn on when you open the app. And definitely guys, if you have too many apps installed, for all you know, a lot of these are actually just eating up battery in the background and you might want to go ahead and uninstall the ones that you don't use. But it could be quite taxing to go ahead and uninstall each and every app. So go into Play Store and then click here to Manage Apps and Devices. Go to Manage and now you can multi-select apps that you don't need and just hit uninstall, on the top right corner that you see, and they'll all get uninstalled together. Now guys, obviously we want our displays to look smooth, bright and colorful, but that often translates into heavy consumption on the battery side. Now if you're in dire need of increasing your battery life, just dial down your display settings and you'll instantly see an improvement in that battery consumption pattern. So, couple of obvious things. Go into display and make sure it's set to dark mode. Then go into motion smoothness and set the frame rate to standard, so it definitely eats less battery. Now scroll down and set your screen timeout to 15 seconds, so when you're not using your phone, it sleeps off quicker. And then turn off adaptive brightness if you're more or less indoors, because that's going to save battery too. Because see, the thing with adaptive brightness is that it keeps calculating basis how much light is around you, and it constantly turns down or turns up your brightness levels. So if you do set it to manual, it doesn't do all of that calculation for you, and it does save a bit of battery. Lastly, a setting like GPS or location, you only need it for apps that require GPS, right? Like maps or delivery apps or banking apps. So let's set up an automation that turns on location only when you need those apps, and it turns it off when you don't need it. So go into your app drawer and search for modes and routines, okay? And then create a new routine. Under the if condition, search for if app opened, okay? So just search for app and then select the apps that you want the location should be turned on for. It could be, any number of apps that you want, but of course, just for demonstration purpose, I'm going to go ahead and choose maps because that's definitely one app I do need location for. And I say done, and then I go under the then condition. And here I just search for location, right? And there you go. And now I just tap on it and make sure that it is turned on. And by default, if you see when the routine ends, it's going to turn it off, right? It's going to reverse the action. So GPS turns on and off by itself. And before I save, I'll just give it a name like auto location and save it just so that I can refer to it later in my list of routines that I create. There you go. And here, if you see now, my location is turned off right now. And if I go into the app drawer and search for maps, right? As soon as I open it, it turns on location. There you go, right? And if I exit maps and if I go back into my settings, there you go, turns off by itself. Alright, that's it guys. Those were some battery saving tips that you can try on your Galaxy phone and hopefully save anywhere between 5 and 15%. But yeah, try these and let me know in the comments how much did you save. And if you did enjoy watching the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification icon and mark all. Really helps the channel grow. I'll see you guys in the next one.